Alright, so I'm gonna start by literally putting the wig on the wig head. I have mine just literally set on a camera tripod that has like the top part off, so it's literally just, yeah. So it fits perfectly into the wig head. I then take my pins and pin it to the wig head, usually at the crown of the head, and then around like the both little ear flap areas. And with that, it holds it pretty well. I can actually turn it upside down and it doesn't go anywhere, which is nice. And then first things first, always start brushing your wigs. Start by brushing out your wig. So this wig's fairly short, but still good principle is always to start from the bottom and work your way up. That's both good for wig hair and normal hair. So I'm just gonna go through quickly and try and get all the tangles out of this wig. I think this was last at a con and then pretty much stuffed into a bag. So yeah, let's go ahead and get it detangled. Shouldn't take it too long. Alright, keep working at those tangles. That one area is giving me issues apparently. If it gives you issues, just pick it out with your fingers gently. I always like to use the wide tooth comb because I feel like it's easiest. I've also used a wet brush. Those are really good to use as well. Just make sure to use something that you've never used on your own hair before. You don't want to get your natural hair oils into the wig because that's actually not good for it. And one final brush through of all the ends and we should be good to move on. Alright, so the items that you're going to need to do this are as follows. You're going to need a tinier comb. I usually, whatever comb you have, I just have this little tiny one for when I'm styling. Then I'm going to use just some curling rollers, foam rollers that I got from Target. It's just this easy pack. And of course, alligator clips. You always got to clip them to make sure they work. Also not pictured, I usually have some form of plastic bag. It can be like just a grocery bag or a small trash bag, but some form of plastic bag, as well as I'm using a steamer for this, a little handheld steamer to actually heat and set up the curls. But now that I'm ready to go and I have all my supplies near me, I'm going to go through, section it out, and literally get just the last couple of rows. Take the biggest curlers because I want the biggest on the bottom, and just start rolling it up. Make sure you brush out every section as you do it because you probably get tangles as you go. Found out here that depending on how you clip it, it keeps it closer to the head, so I think I actually eventually go back and redo that one because I clearly did the second one so much better. But yeah, just keep working around the head, slowly putting the curlers in. I wanted this bottom layer super, super, super close to the head, mainly because you're not going to see it as much, but it is going to give volume. See, I failed at curling that one too. So I did want to get these super big wavy curls to give the whole thing more volume. And that's me pointing, oh, hey, you could do this better. And now I just took the next section down. Again, I'm only grabbing, since this wig is actually fairly thin, I'm only grabbing about 2 rows at a time, sometimes 3. This one I decided to go for 3. I think as I went further up the head, I ended up getting less rows so that there's less hair on the smaller rollers. But since I was still using the bigger rollers, it could take this. And once you're done sectioning out your next section, just pin them back up with your alligator clips. I only used 2 for this whole little project, so that's all you need. You don't need many. And continue rolling. I went for the next size down roller. I think I only had maybe like 1 or 2 of the big ones left. There's not many in a pack, which is sad. I always want more of the bigger ones. Just keep going. Same thing with this layer. I wanted it more close to the head. That's about the line there that I want the curls to kind of start. So I'll be trying to keep to this line with all of the future curls and not actually bring them all the way up to the crown of the head. You brush it out and curl. And as you can see, I'm taking smaller sections of hair as well. And let some more down, bring it out, and continue the process. Still using those second biggest rollers as much as I can, and then I'm moving down to the second to smallest as well. So I wanted the bigger one to frame the face. I'm going to do that on the other side as well, and then going around the back I'll have the slightly smaller size. I didn't section these down too far just because I knew it was going to get brushed out and more floof. But yeah, just using these very small rollers, taking very small sections side to side versus the amount that I have vertically. Probably took maybe a little bit too much hair per section, so if I do this again, I'll probably make them even smaller. But again, I'm keeping all those curlers around that same length around the head as the second row was, just because that's where I want the curls to kind of start and stop. Start, not stop, start. Put one of the slightly larger ones in the back because I had it. Do another one and basically mirror backwards exactly what I did on the previous side, just kind of have it even as much as I possibly can. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Alright, so now that I have everything curled, I failed to film this next part, although do enjoy my cute little close-up of all of them curled, and then my buddy that was staring at me the whole entire time. But after this, once you have them all up, this is where you're going to take that plastic bag, whether or not it's a grocery bag or a small trash bag, just put it over the head and then steam into the bag. I usually also go through try and steam each curl, make sure it gets nice and warm and toasty and saturated, and then steam into the bag. But that works pretty well, and then just leave it be. I actually left mine overnight, took the bag off in the morning, that way it dried throughout the day, and by the time I was done with work I could come, everything was completely cool and dry and ready to take down. So holding those curls really, really nicely, as you can see. Since this is a cheaper wig, best ways to curl it is with low level heat, and I have found that for me anyway, that using the steamer is a very easy process to do, and it's mostly hands off. You don't have to do too much, especially if you're needing curls. Now I noticed as I took it down, apparently I really, really saturated the right side better, because as you can see from that previous view that it was holding those curls much tighter, much closer to the head, and the other side was already kind of letting loose. You could tell it's much lower. You'll be able to tell once I get it around to the front. But I do actually go back and recurl those few pieces on the left side if you're wearing it, right side if you're looking at it. I did go in and recurl those pieces. Same process, just curled a few, steamed them specifically. I did not do the bag because I wasn't curling the full thing. But yeah, after I let them all down, just took my wide tooth comb, kind of brushed through it, and as you can see the height difference, I didn't like that. I didn't want that. I went through, sprayed some detangler just so that it was a little bit smoother when I went through as well, make it easier to brush it through those curls. And also I was curious to see how well they would hold once I would put that detangler on it. No, they didn't move too much, so the detangler didn't move anything, it just made it really nice, shiny. But I did go back in and curl this side. Alright, and so now that we're finished, here is what the wig looked like beforehand. This is me wearing Maki's Snow Halation outfit at Holiday Matsuri down in Orlando. I honestly basically just took this wig out of the bag, didn't do anything to it. It was straight. There was maybe a tiny curl at the bottom inwards, and I barely cut the bangs so that it wouldn't murder me in the face every time I tried to blink. Didn't do too much for it styling wise. It's okay, but it could be better. And hopefully y'all like this look and think it's better like I do as well. Because now we have this. And personally, again, same outfit, different lighting. Of course, I self-shot this photo. But I think this gives it a lot more personality. I think it fits her much better. I do love this style, and it definitely it makes a world of difference when you're dancing and performing as well, because it's just there's so much volume, and it looks so much better, and there's so much bounce. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you stayed to this very end, you're the real MVP, and you're amazing. Yeah. I struggle at voiceovers. Cool. All right, bye.